Ja, ich bin's wieder, Kesonai Haram. Hier mit meinem Let's Play von Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Und wir haben aus dem Titan einen wild gewordenen Spartaner gemacht. Und jetzt ist Robin dazwischen gegangen, von wegen, sie hat die Statuen, also jetzt hier die Statuen von Phoenix und Klavi nicht alleine gemacht.
I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could finish.
Professor Means was still at school? This is incredibly important testimony! Danke, Robin!
The professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin.
Quick! Somebody gets this juvenile delinquent out of my sight! Simon! You're head honko among the delinquents! Do something! Gah! Ow! And who's in charge of the class pet around here?
Not interested, but if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do.
No swords at school! All weapons will be confiscated! Gah! Nurse! Nurse! Where's the school nurse when you need one?
It would seem Stono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff quick at lightning.
Very well, then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style. What is that? Oh, never mind! Your testimony, please! Okay. Yeah. No, pay attention! Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Julie Power, saw the two statues with her own eyes at 30 to 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now.
That evening, I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. All right, the professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. That didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means.
Na gut, wir müssen ihn ja dazu bringen, hier auszurutschen. Kreuzverhör! Professor Means work of art. Und diesmal muss ich etwas angreifen. Was sich mein Kopf hier gedacht hat vorher, so Dings. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second.
Hold it! Why were you in such a hurry?
In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Ugh. Well, ready concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness claim? Es klingt verrückt, aber wir sind ja verrückt für Ace Attorney, aber ja, wir akzeptieren das. Fürs Erste.
I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede.
I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
I concede that Professor Means never left the stage.
Ha 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 ha! That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I'm not gonna give up here.
I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Not yet. The defense still has an objection.
Athena, you've thought of something?
Well, as I said, not yet.
Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors?
Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's a time like this, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to... Yeah! I have to turn the cause upside down! Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could committed murder without going there.
It seems your young lady has a really bona fide idea. I must use any means possible to distract her. See if she can think while I cast these stones. Ah! Who brought the bird to school?
Sykes, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two facts?
If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it! Last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the...
Also nicht mit der Waffe, sondern auch nicht mit dem Verdächtigen, sondern mit dem Ort des Geschehens.
If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer.
Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly incoherent.
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was.
Continue, Sykes.
Okay, the murder was actually committed here.
Ja, nämlich auf der Bühne.
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all.
Silly girl! When the body was moved, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage? Really? But there was something on stage on the time of the murder that's now blood-stained.
Ja, und das ist hier der Schulbanner.
It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor, but there was something on the stage that did have a blood stain. And that would be this, the school banner. Now, no blood would got on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed.
Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory!
Silence.
What is it now? A theory makes perfect sense!
That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not.
Gah ha ha! Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate and recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection! Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
If there was only a trace amount of blood with the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood.
Es gab ja nämlich noch eine Flagge neben dem Schulbanner. Nämlich ist das hier der Banner der Governors. Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the governor's banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood, like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would soaked through the school banner below. So, it makes totally sense of the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
Oh, So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it. The governor's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality. Oh, armer Klavier. Hoffentlich muss er das nicht hören. Simon, don't just stand there. Do something.
Silence.
Sexton, you are learning to wield the blade quite well. But how will you respond when it comes slashing at you like this? The remand of a large bloodstain was detected in the archery. But why would there be blood there with the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
Objection! The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room.
Wo haben wir denn? Ja, das, was halt von dem Governor-Banner übrig geblieben ist. To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was mostly likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked governor's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Gah! Oh! Gegeben! Order! This is quite a development! To think the body was never actually moved! Hold it right there! The body must have been moved! How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statues was... Es gab ja noch eine Statue, die zusammen mit Phoenix und Klavier zerstört wurde und wir gefunden haben. Und das ist die gute alte Lady Justice.
Oh! That statue!
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap-hap relic in such a tedious manner?
Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moving during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to...
Ja, um uns auf den Körper aufmerksam zu machen, also die Leiche. Wenn man also hier das Ding dann wieder kaputt macht, das Geräusch wird man hören und man wird angelaufen kommen und die Leiche sehen.
Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
Gah! That's quite a persuasive argument! For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done!
Ja, ich wurde vom Richter gelobt.
Was willst du schon wieder?
Spaß, ich hab langsam genug von dir.
You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes.
Die nächste Section wird wieder ein bisschen länger dauern. Deshalb glaube ich, beende ich den Part jetzt schon. Wir kennen das Ganze ja. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung immer gern gesehen. Das war's von meiner Seite und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder, wenn ich hier diesem Typen endlich in die Fresse schlage. Sehr geil.